Call to order the recess meeting for Friday, June 23rd. We have a motion to receive and file the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Old business.
Old business, item A, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, adopting the individual job descriptions recommended by Baker Tilly Consultants for the Department of City Manager, Community and Economic Development, Engineering, Finance, Fire, Human Resources, Legal, Parks and Recreation, Police, Public Services, Risk Management, and Utilities of the Classification and Compensation Plan as adopted by ordinance number 31, series of 2023, as previously amended.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item B, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Ashland and Cargill Incorporated Salt for the purchase of approximately 1,000 tons of treated rock salt in the amount of $92.85 per ton for the Department of Public Services, Division of Streets.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item C, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Ashland and Bride End Company, Inc. for the valve house, roof, and truss replacement in the amount of $31,700 for the Department of Utility Operations, Division of Water Production.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item D, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, amending Section 14 tap fees of ordinance number 36, series of 2023, commonly known as the Garbage, Sewer, and Water Ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item E, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, establishing and promulgating certain procedural regulations and prerequisite qualifications relating to the recruitment and selection of police officers for the Department of Police of the City of Ashland, providing for a one-year probation period of service upon original employment as police officer, requiring certain prescribed related to education and training, and further providing for performance evaluation and standards of discipline for all such employees. This ordinance to be known and referred to as the Comprehensive Hiring Ordinance for Police Officers for the Department of Police, and repealing ordinance number 174, series of 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item F, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, fixing the ad valorem tax levy for the year 2023, payable in the year 2023 on real estate, personal property, and franchises in the City of Ashland for the city revenue purposes, providing for a discount of 1% on ad valorem taxes only, which are paid on or before the 15th day following the bill date, and providing for a penalty of 10% and 6% interest per annum for any taxes which are paid after the due date, said due date being 30 days following the bill date.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item G, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, amending Section 2 of the ordinance number 118, series of 2022, which is commonly known and referred to as the fiscal year 2022-23 budget ordinance of the City of Ashland.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item H, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a trust participation agreement with the Kentucky League of Cities Insurance Services General Insurance Trust fiscal year 2023-2024 in the amount of $761,503.65.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item I, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, amending the authorized positions list to add one additional account assistant and deleting the position of payroll specialist 1 and 2 in the Department of Finance of the Classification and Compensation Plan as adopted by ordinance number 31, series of 2023, as previously amended.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item J, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a supplemental agreement number 1 between the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet and the City of Ashland for the construction phase of the Winchester Avenue Streetscape Project between 7th Street and 12th Street and 18th Street through 21st Street for funding in the amount of $1,560,000 with a 20% match to be paid by the City of Ashland.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item K, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute supplemental agreement number 1 between the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet and the City of Ashland for the construction phase for the Winchester Avenue Streetscape Project between 13th Street to 18th Street for funding in the amount of $2,600,000 in federal highway safety improvement funds and $800,000 in surface transportation block grant funds, with a 20% match to be paid by the City of Ashland on the surface transportation block grant funds.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item L, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a landscaping agreement between the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Department of Highways and the City of Ashland for installation by the City of Ashland of 13 pine trees on property parallel to US 60 owned by the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda.
Resolution of the City of Ashland, Kentucky adopting, authorizing, and approving the course of action presented by the city manager on the items appearing on the consent agenda for the recessed meeting of the Board of City Commissioners of June 23, 2023.
So moved.
Any discussion? Oh, hang on a second. Do we have a second? Marty?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Is it, that says box gutters at the Ashland Transfer, is that right? Because, okay, on the new
Yeah.
business item, it says cutter.
Yes,
Gutters, sorry.
I was wondering the same thing. I thought
Yeah, I thought that was pretty expensive box
box
cutters.
cutters, okay.
I'm good.
Got it.
Got it.
Gutter.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, okay. All right, new business item A, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract with the City of Ashland and Bright End Company, Inc. for the box cutter, is that right?
Box gutter.
No,
Box
gut,
gutter.
gutter.
Box gutter purchase and installation project at the Ashland Transportation Center in the amount of $77,300 for the Department of Finance Division of Mass Transit.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item B, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Ashland and the Ashland-Boyd County Health Department to provide and administer hepatitis B vaccines to approximately 5 new employees at a cost of $249 per employee for the Department of Human Resources.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item C, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky prohibiting parking on the north and south sides of the 1200 block of Bath Avenue from its intersection with Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to 13th Street and providing a penalty for the violation of the ordinance.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
That be it?
all right, then
That
we have a
is,
motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Need a second.
I have to-
We need a second.
We good?
Would you like Todd to, or Chief to describe this?
Yeah, describe this.
In a TPF, we're asked to evaluate the request for a drive-through, for a drive-through.
In front of Sky 37.
Sky Tower area, business there. And of course, it's really not possible based on the way the layout and the driveways and encroachment areas are around that building. So, during that discussion, it was brought up about the way parking is kind of out of control there a bit with the changes to residential. And we've got parking on the main road, parking right there beside driveways, entrances, blocking stop signs. Once the cars start parking on both sides of the street, we start having a problem with enough room to get through. Same way like on 24th Street, when we've got parking right beside a stop sign, we've got cars that are going into the oncoming lane to go around those cars, with cars coming at them. So with several parking areas and areas for parking, we felt that was a pretty high traffic area as with Montgomery Avenue from the Martin Luther King side to the 13th Street side, so it needs to be free of any park traffic. So,
Also, Chief, I think we talked about it being a negative impact on if a fire truck needed to be there.
yeah, we were
Yeah. Yeah.
looking at all emergency vehicles getting through
Yeah.
there. And really and truly, when there is a collision there on 13th Street,
Yeah.
it does impact that
Sure.
road itself, if you try to avoid or get away from that area. So it's becoming more and more congested, and I think the use for that building is changing quite a bit. So
Yeah.
so that we felt it necessary to bring to. So I think Jack's now got some paint that we didn't have access to before, so. We had cars parking on the sidewalk and everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And Jack, I see they're out there cleaning up the sidewalks on 13th Street. It's looking really nice down through there. Yes, a lot. Looking good. Thought we're cleaning it up for the Appalachian, for the ARC conference. Looks nice.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, we have a second on the
Second.
adjournment? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.